I've lived in St. Pete all my life, and growing up here in the 80s and the 90s, I spent most of my life out here on the beach. And so when I discovered Corey Avenue professionally, it was just very special. The people out here are amazing. The history is great. And I love the beach. So the combination of all the things, it's just a great place.
So born and raised south of France on the beach between Marseille and Nice, and moved to the US 15 years ago and to Florida 3 years ago.
When I was living in Chicago, I worked for Marshall Field for like 19 years. So that's my passion. Fashion is my passion. And that's what I decided that when I moved down to Florida, that's what I'm going to just do what I love. And then that's why I opened up the fashion store.
Sale Market Boutique, I always had a vision for it, honestly, for over 20 years, where I could curate different unique items that first are made locally, and then just that are unique and different and with intention. So I've always had this vision, and in 2020, this space opened up here on Corey Avenue, and I just felt like it was meant to be.
I grew up on the beaches here, the Gulf beaches, living in what at the time was Indian Rocks Beach, now it's Indian Shores. My mom got me art lessons down at Madeira Beach. There was an art center in Madeira Beach, and that's when I actually started painting, and there was an oil painting class, and drawing also. That was back when I was probably 14 years old.
I purchased my business in 1978. I thought I was going to keep it for a couple of years and then continue my college. I'm hoping to go to med school, but that never happened. So clearly I like what I'm doing. Before that, my father owned a store here for a short time and owned a few buildings on this side of the street, and which is how I found out about mine, because his employee knew the person who owned mine. And I worked at the Beach Theater when it had been closed for years, and a couple came down from New York, Bill and Amy Eisenhart, and they started having film festivals and an organist playing before, and newsreels and cartoons, and people were queued up around 75th. It was tremendous exposure for Corey Avenue.
Where I got sun drunk for the first time, like spending the whole day at the sandbar and just seeing all those manatees and dolphins and being with my family, it just filled up my happiness tank so high that I came home one day and I told my husband, I was like, I feel sun drunk. But for me, it was like a ball of emotions of happiness and euphoria and tired, and it was just a mix of feelings that sun drunk, those two words, just speak the whole feeling together. And so I woke up the day after and I was like, man, I love that name. I think it's an awesome name. And I trademarked it on the spot.
Our thought to open was actually at a time where things were kind of dying down. People who had opened crystal stores who didn't necessarily feel aligned with that
it was very trendy for a while.
Yes.
And it was kind of trending out, but
it kind of fell to the side. And so there was a point in time where it was like, ooh, people would say, have you missed the wave? And we just so firmly believed in the mission of the store being way more than crystals. And that's why I'm so glad it's Metaphysically Me, because it encompasses wellness, healing, crystals, and just
it's
community.
also for everybody. We're all metaphysical.
Yeah, so Chill has been around for about 15 years now. We've owned it for 5 years, my wife and I. We have our steaks are aged locally in St. Petersburg, so we try to source things, locally. We use our produce company that comes to the Sunday market to get a lot of our produce from.
With my experience in commercial graphics and just my love of art, I started transitioning over to mostly printmaking, and today I use printmaking as the foundation for most of my work.
Sale Market Boutique, I always had a vision for it, honestly, for over 20 years. Where I could curate different unique items that first are made locally, and then just that are unique and different and with intention. So I've always had this vision, and in 2020 this space opened up here on Corey Avenue, and I just felt like it was meant to be, in the year 2020 with COVID and everything going on. It was kind of like a now or never type.
I've worked on the beach for about 25 years, so knowing the area was very important to me, and we didn't realize when we bought Chill what a community it was.
We found our paradise. Florida is next level. Beauty beach with dolphin and manatees and stingrays and turtles. It's just incredible.
Out to Xavier Walton. He is in St. Pete Beach. Xavier, not only did you have the hurricane, but you got a lot of tornadoes tearing through western Florida today as well. And I imagine all that debris behind you, it's hard to tell what was from Helene and what was from Milton last night.
I had the alarm go off at the restaurant around 8 o'clock, so I walked back to work over the bridge. Ended up in 2 feet of water walking in, and spent the whole night on top of the bar till the water went down and I could get home.
All the hotels and the airport were closed, so we had to ride the storm out on Sunset Beach, which was not the most fun experience, but the one thing it did do is it did allow me to come in the next day and start working on cleaning this place up immediately, which a lot of people weren't able to do because the bridges were all closed.
When we were allowed to come back, it was like a few days later. It was a Sunday afternoon, and the destruction was absolutely unbelievable.
I lost the house, 2 cars, all my inventory, everything. And that's where, you put your life in perspective and you're like, okay, so what am I supposed to do now? And I just focus on my family because we had to rebuild the house and take care of the kids. They were in school, but not in a home. Like it was chaotic. So for 3 months, I just shut down the business and stopped everything. I had nothing to sell anyway, so.
But when I looked out initially, it just looked like water and sand and mud. Everything had just rolled right through here, and you could see on every property that with every property there was a lot of damage. In the days and weeks afterwards, the amount of debris and furniture and just destroyed property and merchandise that piled up outside was incredible, and really it was sad to see.
We signed the lease 3 days before the hurricane. And when the hurricane happened, luckily nothing was inside the store. However, it did mean waiting a year.
There was a whole year of business missed for everybody. Whether they were open or not, they missed a year of business.
And during that time, a lot of people wondered if we should be looking for somewhere else. And we never wavered with wanting to be on Corey Avenue.
Corey's going really strong. I feel like we're all in a really good place right now, so it's like the perfect time to welcome in some new stuff and new energy.
The storms that we all went through really brought everyone together.
Everybody came together, and that's when I formed a deeper relationship with people here.
The opportunity for me coming back to Corey Avenue happened due to the storms. The empty spaces are getting full again.
The few people I had met when I was looking at buying this particular property were really nice. I mean, just friendly, very open, lots of suggestions, and it just felt really good.
Corey Avenue is a special street. You have the sunrise and the sunset on one street.
I know that the city has got a plan where they really want to tie the area of water to water together on Corey Avenue. So there's stuff in the works to redo the park that's down on the west side. We're getting a beautiful condo complex at the other end where they're going to donate some of the land to the city so that we have a park on that end too.
We're going to have beautiful homes available. It's going to increase the amount of space that we have for more boutiques and restaurants and the experience for our locals and the vacationers. It's real exciting.
We're gonna have families and younger generation that will live here, not just come here 3 months of the year. They will live here. So for us, it's gonna impact on the everyday basis. It's gonna be great.
It was something where I watched the municipality, the government, the residents, all of us have gone through so much on so many levels due to the storms. But again, it's that hard work and dedication that's been there the whole time, the passion and the vision for the street. It really just invigorated that for a lot of people.
Because as much as we're a decent-sized beach community, it still is very tight-knit and local, and people really take care of each other. I mean, we proved that during the hurricanes, where, you know, the business owners and even residents, if they weren't, you know, busy at their places, they were on our street trying to help us get cleaned up and get open.
With so many cookie cutter businesses out there right now, when you go to towns, a lot of those areas have been destroyed, the downtown areas, and you have the same types of stores, their franchises or their corporate stores, and this is not like that. These are individual shop owners that have an interest. They all offer something unique that you don't see with your big box stores or even your smaller franchises. So I think we don't want to lose that.
You know, most of it's retail, you know, or retail or restaurants or people that are members. You know, we have some professional, like, you know, we have the funeral home across the street as a member, and you know, we have attorneys and hairdressers, so it's a little bit of everybody.
This really is a very amazing community, not only the businesses, the business owners, the people that work here, but it's also the residents and the government. I mean, I saw with the municipality what they did to help partner with the businesses to restart the market.
My first ever market was the Corey Avenue Market, and it's forever in my memories because it was like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know how to present my brand. It was a big learning curve, but people are so nice here. It's so nice. I love this community so much.
The Sunday market is a staple for the locals that live out here in St. Pete Beach and beyond. The offerings are awesome, handmade. Most of it is handmade. There's live music. There's something to see different every weekend.
Sundays are the best days. Sundays with the markets, and I'm so happy to have the market because all those vendors are my friends. That's where I started, and for 2 years every Sunday I was there with them. So I actually have a lot of them in my store as well. I want to support them. I know they've been through hell during the hurricanes too, so I reach out after when we reopen and open the store, and I was like, I need your pieces in my store. Let's help each other and have you with me.
It's a vital piece of our sales and our being able to be here. You know, one retailer has told me that she pays her rent on Sundays. That's how big it is for certain retailers and restaurants. So.
The street's full. I mean, it's really at capacity, so it's just a great place to be. So yeah, you see the locals and the vacationers out here every week.
It's booming. Like the Sunday market is super fun. Tons of people, tons of activity. I had people from Illinois yesterday, and they said that they haven't seen the market like this in so long because we have music, live music, and we have any type of vendor you can think of, not like the typical jewelry and food. Is like much more than that. You can find any fun craft stuff here. We love this market.
Ever since we have the markets on Sundays, it's a great day for our business. It brings so many people, and then tourists, the visitors.
I think it brings people down here. People come down every Sunday. They buy their produce or stroll the street and see what the vendors have. It's a nice get together on a Sunday morning. I mean, even with the arts, with other events too, like the art fairs that we have and other types of festivals here in the street. It really is these events bring the community together, and it helps the business owners as well, of course.
I never knew so many people own dogs. Because I mean, it's just, you know, dog after dog, and it's awesome, you know, because we have outside dining at our restaurants, so people can come and sit and have brunch and watch people watch and, you know, have a good time.
So what we are dreaming of as a business association on Corey Avenue is to make events next level. So bring even more people to us and rediscover Corey, who's like the whole street is reopening little by little, and more and more store popping in, new, completely new. So we hope to create more bigger events, to bring more people from outside of just St. Pete's Beach. That's the hardest part. It's like to make other people aware that we exist here.
We are so fortunate that we have our community here on Corey Avenue. Our CABA, especially our association, is just absolutely incredible.
And I started realizing how valuable it was, that relationship with the other retailers, the other business owners here. That is truly the case, and I've made friends here, and it's been wonderful.
I'm happy to know that we can get together and discuss our concerns and needs and have the support of our neighbors, because we are a community and we have to maintain that. It's so important.
I think it's the sharing of information, and being able to kind of know your neighbors and say, hey, you know, like, to the new ones, like, we can almost mentor them that, you know, hey, that first week in December is really slow, or this is that. So, yeah, I think information is probably the biggest thing that we provide.
The people are so sweet, so laid back, chill. I love that about this. And so when the tourists come, they kind of adapt to that mentality. So I hope that will never change.
Quarry Avenue is a hub. It is a community. It's crazy. It's a crazy mix of locals and people coming together, people who know the history of the whole block and each building.
Come park your car and you don't have to, you know, you can do it all. So you can come and have lunch, you can go to a movie, you can do your shopping, you can have nightlife. So it's, you know, like we're a destination. So it's not where you're just, you know, pulling into a parking lot, going to a restaurant for dinner and then leaving. You know, it's an afternoon, it's an evening. We have a little bit of everything.